The training methods you're about to see are conducted by a professional. Please do not try these methods without first consulting a professional dog trainer.
Hi guys and gals, I'm India and you're watching K9 Konnection. This is Guam's first and only TV show dedicated to dogs. I'm so excited because now there's going to be a program made right here in Guam that talks about understanding everything we dogs go through, from health issues, fun activities, and my favorite topic, food. So stay right there, don't go away, and we'll be right back.
K9 Konnection is brought to you by Dog Training Squad, Puppy Love Guam, and Crystal Rose Productions.
G'day and welcome to K9 Konnection. I see you've met India, one of the members of our pack. Here at the Dog Training Squad, we strive to get people and their dogs speaking the same language so that communicating isn't an issue. As with most relationships, communication is key, and the same goes with dogs.
In today's segment of Dog Speak, my human Brett tackles one of the most common behavioral issues with little dogs.
Today we're going to go and see a good friend of mine, David, who's got a barking chihuahua with some aggression issues. Let's go and see him, eh? So, what sort of problems you having, Dave?
I think the biggest problem I have with Boots is barking. It doesn't matter whether I'm at the vet or I have visitors or family come by.
Right.
Boots is always barking.
Okay.
Uh-oh, poor David. He tells Brett more about his frustrations because he can't seem to understand why Boots barks all the time. And no one likes a yappy puppy. So Brett talks to David about why certain puppies just have a lot to say.
One of the reasons dogs bark is to summons the rest of the pack. So what they're saying is, there's a problem, there's a problem. And you'll often notice when a dog's doing that is they'll do things like roof, roof, and then they'll be looking for, you know, the support and those type of things. And that's often what you'll see with that situation.
Before Brett can help David any further, he needs to find out what sort of things David has tried with Boots in the past. And we learned that David got some bad advice about alpha rolling and timeout. Now, Brett realizes that Boots barking may be a result of fear and nervousness.
Taking the dog away from the situation doesn't teach them how to behave in the situation. And you'll probably notice it stops. But you've never, and you know, we've actually got him in that at the moment. Not that that's what my technique will be, but what happens is that you never actually teach how to behave in this environment. What happens with physical behavior is that it creates two options: fight or flight. Okay, so at the age of around about 2 years, it often changes to no more flight, and then they start turning around and biting you. It's one of the clear cases that you find. A lot of people go, the dog suddenly turned on me. Hasn't suddenly turned on you. What's happened is it's gone, I've had enough of you hitting me. So what it then does is say, right, you do it again and I'm gonna bite you. And that's generally what happens. There's a lot of misunderstanding and miscommunication. But that's the thing to be aware of. My suggestion, stop it at the moment.
Okay.
And the reason I say that is that we want to get rid of that fear.
Sure.
We want the dog to be comfortable around people, so the quicker we stop that behaviour and stop worrying about it, the better it'll be.
All in all, dogs really just want to please you, but sometimes they don't know what you want.
So if you want the dog to do something, but it doesn't know what you want, you would guide. If the dog knows what you want, you could show. In particular in barking, there's not a lot that people want the dog to do. They just don't want the dog to bark. Once you've corrected, you can very quickly just shoot down to praise. Good puppy. Once the dog stops. So if the dog keeps stopping, good puppy, good puppy. The dog starts again, give the correction, those type of things.
Though it seems like a tedious process, once Boots knew what it was that David wanted, everything else fell right into place.
You know, I already knew my dog's problems, so my expectations were kind of big because I really wanted to, you know, fix the barking issue. And although it took some time, I understand it's a step process, but just the quickness of it, I was amazed. And you know, just how quickly I was able to fix the issue. I've been very happy with his results today.
Some of the wrong ways that people deal with barking is often becoming physical or smacking and those type of things. That creates chaos in a pack situation because number one, the dog is now being attacked by another member of the pack. That's the first thing. Other ways that people tend to do it is they either try to distract. And what happens with distraction is that when you distract from the actual problem, you never actually educate. The other reason is that often what people will do is put a dog in timeout. So they'll remove them from the situation. What happens is with removing from the scenario, you never actually learn how to behave in the scenario. If you're watching and you have a problem with barking, some of the things that I would suggest is maybe recreate the problem and educate the dog through it. So for instance, if it's somebody walking past your property, get a person to walk past at a time that's convenient for you. Correct the dog and its behavior at the moment that it starts barking, and ensure that you follow through with praise once the dog stops.
For more information on Dog Training Squad, call 989-DOGS or 989-3647.
I just love happy endings. When we come back, we're going to be visiting some of my dear friends at Gain. Stay tuned.
Hey everybody, here's a pup quiz brought to you by Pacific Pest Control. True or false, when a dog wags its tail, it means he's happy and friendly. The answer when K9 Konnection returns.
My name is John from Pacific Pest Control. If you have any pest problems, please give us a call at 637-8959. Service guaranteed.
I bring Clara to Isla Vet because of the veterinarian services. It's fabulous. Lisa is fantastic. Anytime I have a need, she can fill it. Whenever I have a behavioral issue with my dog, Brett is right there to help me sort it out.
We sit down with you, we go through dog psychology, teach you how to understand your dog. What my system's all about is actually about communicating with people on how to communicate with their dogs.
Every time you buy local, you support Guam's economy by keeping the money on island, creating more jobs, and giving to local charities. Hafa Day, I'm India, the furry host of K9 Konnection. I support local businesses by getting my cool gear at Puppy Love Guam. Puppy Love Guam is a regular donor to Guam Animals in Need. Not only is that great for my canine and feline pals at the shelter, but also good for the community. So go Guam, think and support, and buy local.
Hafa Day, I'm Lieutenant Governor Ray Tenorio, and you're watching K9 Konnection.
Back to our pup quiz. So does a wagging tail equal a friendly dog? The answer is false. A wagging tail is not a free pass to approach any dog. This pup quiz is brought to you by Pacific Pest Control.
Welcome back to K9 Konnection. We are here at the Jigo Animal Shelter, which is operated by non-profit organization Guam Animals in Need, or better known as GAIN.
What can you tell us about GAIN?
Well, GAIN is the only animal shelter on Guam, and it was started back in 1989 by a Navy spouse.
Wow.
So she started this organization. It's a completely non-profit organization based mainly on donations. And we are on a mission to get all of those homeless dogs and cats off the streets and find them forever home.
Katie tells us that nearly 600 animals are dropped off at the Jigo Animal Shelter every month. Unfortunately, she also tells us that only 1 out of every 5 animals at the shelter gets adopted. Luckily, GAIN's education campaign is working to inform the public about the realities of animal welfare in Guam. And last year, it celebrated the opening of a perfect place that people can learn more about adopting shelter animals.
I see that you've got a new center.
We do. This is the Macon Grady Education Center. The Education Center is exactly that. It's for education, not just for school presentations, field trips, and things like that, but if there are pet owners or future adopters that just have some questions, basic animal care questions, ideas on how to house train your puppy, why is my dog acting this way, we have books, videos, DVDs, all kinds of resources.
The Education Center is named after my dear buddy, Macon Grady, who has quite a sad story. But don't worry, he has a happy ending.
A lot of people see Macon's picture in different places around Guam. He's kind of hard to miss. He's a beautiful Dalmatian, which you don't see very often here. And Macon was actually rescued from a very, very horrible situation. He's got a really sad story in the beginning. He was padlocked in a kennel, padlocked, no food, no water, just out in the sun, just baking in the sun. He was emaciated, no hair. Someone called and reported the abuse, and he was rescued by some of the people from GAIN. And so we've opened this education center in his honor.
So what should people do if they see an animal being abused?
You can call GAIN. We are 653-GAIN 4246 is the phone number here. Or you can call the Department of Agriculture directly at 734-3942. They are the ones that are able to actually visit a site, evaluate the situation, and they do have the ability to issue citations and to seize an animal and remove it from an abusive situation.
If you would like to adopt an animal from GAIN, Katie says it's a fairly easy process.
Adopting an animal at GAIN is a fairly easy process, but there is an application that needs to be filled out. So once you've come into the shelter and picked out which animal you would like to take home, we have you fill out a short app. And then we have a 24-hour wait process on that application.
The 24-hour period is for GAIN to double-check an applicant's sources, such as whether rented homes or apartments have a landlord's approval for a pet, and to prevent buyer's remorse.
So is there anything else that we didn't talk about that you'd like to maybe discuss or chat?
And anytime I'm doing anything where I'm representing GAIN at all is to mention how important it is for people to spay and neuter their pets.
So if people want to contact you for more information, how do they do that?
You're welcome to call the shelter at any time. We are 653-GAIN or 653-4246.
You can also find GAIN at www.guamanimals.org. Visit them on Facebook or follow them on Twitter. If you want to visit GAIN at the Jigo Animal Shelter, they are open every day of the year, including holidays, from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. The shelter is located in Jigo, heading toward Anderson just past the Jigo Gym. Stay right there. We'll be back with more K9 Konnection.
Here's another pup quiz brought to you by Booney B&B. If you were just watching our Community Corner segment, you should know the answer. What's the name of the famous Dalmatian after whom the new GAIN Education Center is named? Find out after the break.
Hello, this is Dr. Lisa Silk. Stay tuned for more K9 Konnection.
Dress up your inner child with PhotoHUD, Guam's most entertaining photo booth that features the biggest bang for your dollar. Hundreds of props to choose from. Feather boas, a fake boa, necklaces, chains, clock on a chain, big hats, small hats, jumbo glasses, regular glasses, sunglasses, wrestling belts, and even lightsabers. We even have props for the toddlers. Customized photo layouts to match your party theme? Check. Quality sub-dye prints? Check. High definition camera? Check. Enclosed photo booth so you can let loose? You betcha. Give us a call at 777-4675.
Hi, I'm Faye Varias, the voice of India on K9 Konnection. Playing India's voice is a great job that educates our viewers in a fun way.
we can use our voices in other important matters as well.
Abused animals don't have the ability to speak up, but we do. If you see animal cruelty, report it to the authorities. Write a concise, factual statement of what you observed, including dates and times. If possible, try to photograph the abusive situation and date your pictures. Call animal control. Call your mayor's office. Call the police. These individuals have the power to enforce all of our Guam laws, including animal cruelty laws, but they need our help.
Without tips from the public, many animals would remain in abusive circumstances, silent and defenseless. But you can do something about it. For more information on how you can help fight animal abuse, call Guam Animals in Need at 653-GAIN. That's 653-4246.
So who is the famous Dalmatian after whom the Gain Education Center is named? The answer is Macon Grady. Yay, Macon! This pup quiz is brought to you by Booney B&B, Guam's only doggy bed and breakfast.
Ever wonder about the different breeds of dogs? This month, we're highlighting the Beagle. Find out more about these funny little dogs.
According to the American Kennel Club, the Beagle is a sturdy hunting dog and should look like a foxhound, only in miniature. His hunting ability combined with his merry personality has made the Beagle one of the most popular dogs in the United States. Most famous Beagle of all is Snoopy, of course, from the comic strip Peanuts. Today's Beagle comes in 2 height varieties and any true hound colour, including tricolour, red and white and lemon.
Actually, we hadn't planned on getting a Beagle, but we saw Bella at the pet store and she just looked so cute. And she was a female. We wanted a female, and also we wanted a medium-sized dog, small to medium. And they said she loves kids and that Beagles are really cute and lovable, so that's why we got Bella. But after having her, we fell in love with the Beagle, and then we adopted a second one. So now we're Beagle lovers.
In the 1500s, most English gentlemen had a pack of hounds. Larger hounds tracked deers, while the smaller ones went after rabbits. These were the first Beagle. The origin of the name Beagle may have derived from the French term bigal, referring to baying, the voice of hounds when in pursuit of game, or possibly the diminutive size of the hound.
I would say the main thing in Guam is that they do have allergy problems, skin problems, and because it's so moist and wet here, you have to be careful of keeping up with any allergies to maybe the palm trees or their food. They're very sensitive as far as allergies go, and the moisture here doesn't make it any better. So I would say that's the biggest issue, as well as needing a lot of room to run and play, and you can't really leave them out, because once they smell something, they're gone, and they're not going to listen to you when you're trying to get them to come back to you, because they get very, very focused on the smell and the scent, because that's what they were bred to do, and they'll just run away.
If you're looking to add the Beagle to your family, Beagles are happy-go-lucky and friendly, making them a wonderful family pet. They are also favoured for their compact size and short, easy to care for coat. But take note, curious and comedic, they often follow their noses, which can lead to some mischief if not provided with daily activity.
Hi everyone, we are here at Isla Vet Clinic to talk to Dr. Lisa Silk about some of the most common problems we see in dogs here on Guam. Today, she's chatting with us about blood tick diseases. Ew.
Blood-borne diseases from ticks are exactly what they sound like. A disease that's passed on to your dog from being bit by a tick. There are many different diseases that ticks transmit to our dogs. And when they bite your dog or your cat, the organism is transferred from the tick mouthpiece into the bloodstream of the dog. There's probably 6 or 7 types of diseases that the ticks spread.
According to the Center for Disease Control, ticks carry pathogens that can cause harm to humans as well. So it's important to watch out for different symptoms that show your dog may have a tick-borne disease.
It can have a wide range of symptoms. It can vary from a very mild fever to the dog just not feeling very well and not really wanting to eat, being a little lethargic, all the way to liver failure.
So what should you do if you think your dog has a tick-borne disease?
What we do is we test them, and if they come up positive or if they're showing signs of an infection, we'll start them on doxycycline, which is an antibiotic, but sometimes it's hard to get rid of. We do at least a month worth of a treatment, and sometimes we have to do it for the life of the dog depending on if they've become a carrier. You want to make sure that you put your topical, Frontline, Advantix, Promeris. There's all kinds of different topical preparations that you can put on once a month. Some people use Adam's spray, but you got to remember that you need to do it every 4 to 6 weeks. As far as keeping your pet safe and keeping your family safe from tick disease, make sure that you check them. Even if you're using a topical preparation, make sure when they come back from being outside that you're checking in between their toes and their ears, their face with their down sniffing around. The topical preparations work by absorbing into the fatty layer of the skin, and sometimes the concentration isn't as high near the ears or between the toes, and that's where they're going to jump on first anyway. So the faster you get them off, the safer your pets will be.
Boy, that sounds bad. I'm glad I'm on preventives.
Are you ready for our last pup quiz? This one's brought to you by Sunset Grill. Which Beatles singer wrote Martha, My Dear about his dog? Take your paws off that remote. We'll be back with the answer right after this.
I bring Clara to Isla Vet because of the veterinarian services. It's fabulous. Lisa is fantastic. Anytime I have a need, she can fill it. Whenever I have a behavioral issue with my dog, Brett is right there to help me sort it out.
We sit down with you, we go through dog psychology, teach you how to understand your dog. What my system's all about is actually about communicating with people on how to communicate with their dogs.
Every time you buy local, you support Guam's economy by keeping the money on island, creating more jobs, and giving to local charities. Half a day, I'm India, the furry host of K9 Konnection. I support local businesses by getting my cool gear at Puppy Love Guam. Puppy Love Guam is a regular donor to Guam animals in need. Not only is that great for my canine and feline pals at the shelter, but also good for the community. So go Guam, think and support, and buy local.
Dress up your inner child with PhotoHUD, Guam's most entertaining photo booth that features the biggest bang for your dollar. Hundreds of props to choose from. Feather boas, a fake boa, necklaces, chains, clock on a chain, big hats, small hats, jumbo glasses, regular glasses, sunglasses, wrestling belts, and even lightsabers. We even have props for the toddlers. Customized photo layouts to match your party theme? Check. Quality sub-dye prints? Check. High definition camera? Check. Enclosed photo booths so you can let loose? You betcha. Give us a call at 777-4675.
We're back. So which Beatles singer wrote a song about his dog? It's Paul McCartney. He wrote Martha, My Dear about his sheepdog Martha. What a lucky pup. This pup quiz is brought to you by Sunset Grill.
You're watching K9 Konnection. For our last segment of the day, we're visiting my dear friend Bunny Tenorio. She keeps her human company while he's doing a very important job.
We're here with Lieutenant Governor Ray Tenorio and Bunny. How are you?
Very good. How you doing?
Good.
All right.
How did you meet Bunny?
Well, my wife and I met Bunny when she was described as the meanie of the litter. She was the tough little puppy out of a litter, and we bought her from a guy who was going to be joining the Navy.
Mm-hmm.
And that was going on 3 years ago.
What's her role here?
I decided to bring my dog to my senatorial office, and it carried over to my office here. you know, every time I come back from a meeting, sometimes things can be pretty stressful in my position.
Right.
We come back and my dog is just as happy as she could possibly be. And that's really good for stress.
So some people would consider that bringing your dog to work would be unconventional or something like that. What's your thought on this?
Oh, I would completely agree. It's very unusual. It's not every employer that allows your dog to be taken to work in the first place. Inevitably, it comes down to responsibility as a pet owner, and it also comes down to working with your employer, making sure that, you know, it's something that's allowable.
So Bunny's personality, what type has she got, do you think?
Her personality is pretty rambunctious. You know, she's young. She's almost 3 years old, and she's got that pep in her step, and she's all bouncing around when she sees people. And
she's a very pretty dog too, isn't she? She's
beautiful.
I love the coat. It's very flowing.
She's got some great mascara going on. She's got these deep, deep eyes of hers.
What's her breed?
She's Jack Russell and Shih Tzu. She'll look at you like the Shih Tzus were. They just kind of look at you with this beautification. So she's got a, you know, looking, adoring you. And then the Jack Russell kicks in and she runs around the room like, you know, her butt's on fire, and she just keeps going all over the place. But as a matter of fact, she's twice as big, I'm told, for Shih Tzu Jack Russell as she should be. She should be this small, and she's this big.
It's amazing.
Yeah, she's a beautiful, great dog. And you know, when you come home and you see a dog with so much personality and so much spunk, you know, it makes you younger, I think. And I think it makes my wife and I are happier because, you know, again, she is like our child. She's part of our household, and sometimes she wants to go somewhere. I know, baby, you're my baby. I know. Okay. You know, one thing I like to appeal to people is, you know, would you live in an environment that your dog does, or would you live in an environment that you see your neighbor's dog living in? And I think, you know, when you put yourself in the shoes of another living being, whether it be a dog or a cat or another human, if you would want yourself to live in that condition, then that's probably a good living condition to be in. And I hope that people look at pets as I do, that, you know, I would never have harm come to my dog Bunny or Twinkie, and I would never allow her to live in a condition which is it's just substandard.
Right.
And you know, we all recognize that people have dogs in their backyard and they consider them only for security, but they have to have water. They have to have some kind of food on a regular basis, and they also have to have decent shelter. And you know, you don't have to invest a lot, but I hope that people look at animals in the same way that they look at people, and think that, you know, they're living beings, and that's a responsibility to have a dog. It's not just something that adds to the security of your wife and children at home when you're not there. Your dog, just like any other living, breathing animal, including us, has to be taken care of. And I hope that resonates well, because it's very important for a lot of people, and it's the humane thing to do. And I hope that people take care of their animals, and that they encourage others. And if they see a dog that's not properly taken care of, or any pet, that they properly report it to Gain.
Well, that's all the time we have today, and I am Bee. I hope you enjoyed our first show. Tune in next time for another edition of K9 Konnection. Bye!
My name is John from Pacific Pest Control. If you have any pest problems, please give us a call at 637-8959. Service guaranteed.